Hey, all right, welcome back to the show. So, like I said, there's actual news, not a ton, but we have some more updates on some fighting games.
Yes.
Whether new games or kind of existing games that have new characters coming out.
Correct. So, Blaze Blue just announced that they are adding 2 new characters, interestingly, to Chrono Phantasma version 2, it sounds like, is what they're just going to call it. So, I don't even think they're going to change the name of it at all. So this just seems like an update. I don't know if it's going to come with a balance update or...
Yeah, I don't think that they've talked about that yet, but we'll see. Yeah, anyway, so it's going to be Celica A. Mercury and also Lambda 11.
Celica A. Mercury. That is 100% the name of a car. That is 100% the name of a car, right? So, I mean, Celica and Mercury have both been cars before, so... So yeah, so they're adding 2 new characters. Celica seems to be related to Carl Clover in a way.
Well, she has like a persona kind of thing.
Yeah, a puppet, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's really a puppet in the same way. I mean, when they've talked about her as being kind of an intro character, like an easier kind of character, not as hard as Carl or Aurelius, the other puppet characters in the game. So. It doesn't seem like it'll be quite that challenging because those are really tough characters to pick up, especially Carl.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't think Celica is supposed to be like that, but yeah, I mean, she looks fine. I mean, we've seen video of her now, and it's like not my cup of tea really, but yeah,
it just seemed like when you're hitting the buttons, she just attacks with the puppet. So it's not like you're controlling 2 at once. It's doing the attacking for her.
Well, it is her drive. Okay. The puppet thing is her drive, so presumably you press D and like the puppet does a attack or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Hang on a second. Why is nothing happening here? Do people hear us? Did it die? Are we dead? What? How did that happen? Alright, well, okay, let's...
Oh, we're offline, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It says live here for me, but...
Yeah, it says live for me too.
Alright, let's try streaming again, shall we?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I guess we can start again. Oh, okay, here we go. So we should be live again. Let us see what people say. Do you see us? Do you see us? Do you see us? This could be an effect of the local recording or something like that, perhaps, but looks like people see us right now. Oh, we back. Okay. Hang on a second. I'm going to pretend that this never happened.
Hey, welcome back to the show! Like nothing's happened.
Exactly. Everything is perfectly normal.
So we mentioned it before the break, but there is some actual news in fighting games having to do with either new or existing fighting games that are getting new stuff.
Right. So in Blaze Blue, for example, they've announced 2 new characters, right? And who are the characters?
The characters, my friend, are Celica A. Mercury and Lambda 11.
Should I totally make the same joke?
Just dude, it's the same. I mean,
okay.
Just do it.
Dude, that's totally the name of a car, dude.
Oh, that's I never heard that before.
No, it is, though, because Celica is the name of a car. Mercury has been the name of a car in the past. Celica A. Mercury. That's just like 100%.
It's totally automobile.
The name of a car, yeah. That's really funny. But it's really interesting because... I guess she's related to the Clover family, like Relius and Carl, right? So she seems like she's gonna be a puppet character, but the notes say she's supposed to be like good for beginners.
Yeah, and in the video of her so far, she doesn't look, at least in the video, it doesn't look as complicated as like a Carl or a Aurelius. Definitely more complicated characters. Carl's a really tough character to learn. I mean, he's got a lot going on. She's not supposed to be like that.
Okay.
So it just kind of looks like she's more of like not
straightforward.
Maybe not like a puppet character in the same way, but like she has a backup with her, kind of like it is her D. So
gotcha.
the notes say that it is her drive. So
it's more just like a persona.
Yeah, like a persona kind of thing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I mean from the video it just looked like the thing was just attacking when she was hitting buttons. Yeah, so it wasn't like you're controlling two characters. So.
It didn't look like it, but you know, again, we'll see how that kind of plays out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that that'll be interesting. She's a new character. She looks like every character to me.
Damn.
To be honest.
Yeah. The other character.
And then like totally looking like other characters because she kind of is Lambda.
Lambda.
Lambda, you know, she was in the series previously.
Right.
Currently, New has 2 forms, and one of them is based on Lambda. So they're bringing Lambda back in. New's a character that I play in BBCP, so I'm really interested in Lambda. You know, New has these kind of 2 halves that you have to juggle, sort of, with kind of a little bit different options. So if I can like simple it down, maybe like I would totally try it out. So we'll see how she is.
In case you guys didn't remember, a lot of people in the first BlazBlue, they kept calling her V13 when it was actually the Lambda symbol, right? So,
no, I looked it up later. That's so it was New, but then
it was New?
Lambda was in, I think, the second version.
Oh, okay. So Lambda was the second one.
Yeah.
So New was the first one.
Yeah, New was the first one.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. No, you were right. We were talking about this before.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so New came back and has New version in Lambda was like the toned down version of New in the second one, I believe, or something weird like that. But okay, so now there's 3 of them.
So anyway, now there's Lambda, Mu, and New. Mu and New totally play differently. I mean, they're not the same character. New is more of a dedicated kind of zoner. Mu, she has some good mid-range buttons, and she has really good offense too. So, and she has a good DP and stuff. So it's going to be. I expect Lambda to be more like a New, more like a dedicated zoner, but you know, we'll see like what changes they put in. She has some different D attacks. Apparently, the jump D is different, things like that. So we'll see. You know, I don't know. I'm certainly really interested to try out Lambda.
Yeah, but I mean,
kind of a zoner character, presumably.
This is, I mean, these 2 characters coming to BlazBlue. This is not even like a next version of BlazBlue. This is just they're putting them right into Chrono Phantasma, right? So. Because I remember seeing the little trailer that they released. It even said just BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma and then like version 2 down at the bottom or something like that. So I don't know. It doesn't say anything about character balance or changes or anything like that, right?
Not that I have read so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that's the case.
Because I'm sure you would love to have Tager get buffed a little
bit. Maybe not. Maybe don't nerf Tager this time. Maybe stay away from Tager nerfs, okay? No, but again, you know, we mentioned this in our After Evo show, but when Mori, the guy who created BlazBlue, the lead guy on that, when he was at Evo, you could really tell that the emotion of all that, you know, the competition really got to him. And I really hope that kind of made him rethink, you know, how to balance characters.
Right. And we pointed out that was a direct 180 turn from him, you know, sniggering at a Barker Dave getting destroyed by Kokonoi at Southern California Regionals. So
yeah, which was ridiculous. People say that they are in fact changing character stuff. So.
I mean, are they are.
With the balance patch.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
that's
cool.
good. Good to hear. So
yeah,
hopefully Tager gets stronger. So hopefully Amane gets stronger.
Yeah, totally.
I haven't even picked up the game yet because someone was like, "You should try this because he's a total chip character, you know, chip damage character." I was like, "That's neat." So I started learning Amane, and then everyone's like, "Amane is really bad." I was like, "Great." Yeah. Wonderful. So, you know, it would be nice if they buff him up so I, you know, don't have to struggle as much.
We'll see, man. Yeah. I definitely hope so.
Okay.
In other news, for another game, you know, Mortal Kombat X is in development. It's not coming out for a little while, but it's in development.
I don't even know if we've even talked about the character variations on the show at all, have we?
I think we have when it was first announced, which was already a little while ago. It was pre-Evo, certainly.
Okay.
So anyway, if you're not familiar with it, if you haven't heard about it, in the new Mortal Kombat X, they're going to have this very interesting mechanic where each character has 3 different variations. And those variations are going to play slightly differently, slightly different options. Same kind of basic character, a lot of the options are going to be the same, but some versions will add some stuff or subtract other stuff.
Right. I mean, it's really kind of a neat idea because, in my opinion, you're adding more characters, but not increasing the complexity too much. Right? So it's kind of like isms, but more so, right?
Yeah.
So like grooves, but more so. So, for example, Raiden, they showed a trailer where he had one mode where it was all about lightning, and then another mode that was all about teleports.
Right.
And then another mode where it was all about, like, planting little lightning balls.
Space control stuff.
Yeah, space control stuff.
Yeah.
So if you've learned Raiden, and one of the things that I hate about NetherRealms games, I'm sorry, but I hate the fact that all their chain combos are arbitrary. It's ACB.
I know.
It's C down B A.
Yeah, who knows,
right? So now, if you learn that with your character, you can switch between them, and hopefully their normals are the same, so you don't have to learn new chain combos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be kind of cool. So
I totally agree. I feel like this is a cool idea because you can be a character specialist and still have the ability to change your matchups. Right. I think that's going to be super cool. There's only been a few games that have been like that. Like CVS 2 is maybe an example. Alpha 2 or Alpha 3 rather is an example.
Right. But I mean, CVS 2, your whole team was stuck that way.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Alpha 3, kind of, but I mean,
maybe not as much, but
right. There was
if you were like Saddam, you had like a knife or whatever.
It was more system changes more than it was character changes. The other thing that I'm gonna be curious too is that, let's say the character changes are subtle enough. Like, what is the rule going to be at tournaments? Like, let's say I'm Raiden, you're Sub-Zero, and I beat you, and you switch to Scorpion. Am I allowed to change Raiden mode? That would be sick.
That is an interesting question.
That would be pretty cool.
It's kind of a novel question, really.
Yeah, and we're not going to know until the game comes out. But I think that would be neat, because then if you play against this keep-away character, you're like, oh, I'm going to... Because it's like switching your Ultra or something like that, you know? It's obviously more than changing an Ultra.
Yeah, it's more consequential than that, presumably.
Yeah, but it would just be kind of neat if that was a rule put in there.
You know what? It is like Moons in Melty Blood. So I'm not entirely unfamiliar with that game. I sat down with it for like an afternoon one time.
Okay.
And you can change things to some degree about characters, so... Yeah.
Like the crescent and the gibbous moons and full moon, half moon, whatever.
I honestly don't remember.
I just remember because, dude, I'm totally gonna out myself here.
Okay.
For the year that we got Red Rapper to do all the Evo intros, where he did like the slam poetry rap kind of thing.
Yeah.
I attempted to write raps for all the intros before I got him to help.
Okay.
And so my Melty Blood rap was just like all about like moon phases and stuff like that. Yeah, so one of these days, if they convince me enough, I'll read the lyrics out on stream. I'm serious. It was pretty good. I actually thought it was pretty decent rap. I thought it was a pretty decent rap. Okay. In fact, I may even have it on my phone. So I can,
really? This was at least a couple years ago.
Yes, it was. Yeah. But it was just like put it in one of those notepad documents, and then you never delete your notepad documents.
All right, fair enough.
Kind of things like that. So.
Oh man, yeah, dang. But I really like the space control look for Raiden. It just looked like a really cool idea. You can set up kind of like lightning spheres on screen and then connect them and kind of cut off angles.
Yeah.
Which is a cool idea. And I mean, I did also like the teleport version. There was like a combo that they showed where like you do like some chain into a teleport and then like you recover fast enough that like you continue hitting them. Like,
you punch him across over there and he teleports and he keeps punching.
That's pretty cool.
There's a lot of cool stuff like that.
Yeah, so. that was pretty cool. I mean, there's also been info for Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero has 3 versions: Cryomancer, Unbreakable, Grandmaster.
Cryomancer was like making weapons.
Yeah, that's Cryomancer. Yeah, he has weapons, fast-paced rushdown style of play. Unbreakable is more on defense. So he can make ice shields that freeze opponents.
Okay.
Ice armor, less chip damage. Oh man, that's totally like Marvel too. Then Grandmaster, he can generate ice clones that improve his trapping abilities.
Yeah, and he can throw those too. I think.
He can throw those. Yeah, I think that was in video.
That's really kind of interesting. Okay.
So I think this is super cool. I really do.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat always does really well casually, like the sales.
Yeah.
But the competitive scene for it, hasn't been that big, probably in large part because games were ass between like 3 and 9.
Yeah.
There's like this whole intervening 15 years where they were horrible.
Hey, don't shit on that Mortal Kombat versus DC game.
Oh, that was just not good. Didn't Superman have some like super obvious day one infinite?
Yeah, it was the ground pound. I was
like, what are you guys doing? How did that even
happen?
Exactly. But no, MK9 was very interesting. They really tried to get back into competitive play, and I think that they did a good job, but a lot of people didn't play it. Injustice, they experimented more. Very interesting gameplay designs. Still had some issues that some people didn't like, but it got a lot more play than MK9 did.
Yes.
And deservedly so. I think it's a very fun game, very interesting game. So I'm hoping that kind of progression continues, that they've kind of ironed out issues from MK9 and from Injustice and figured it out with MKX. I've talked with some people who are kind of consulting on the development process, and they have nothing but good things to say so far. Even people who had problems with Injustice and MK9 at this stage in the game, they don't have any problems with MK9.
So
MK10.
You can't say anything bad about Shaolin Monks, dude. Shaolin Monks was awesome.
I don't think I played that one.
Shaolin Monks was
It was this like side scroller.
It was the side scroller. It was made by the people who eventually went to God of War. So,
oh really?
Yes. It was made by all those guys. Yeah. So that tells you a lot.
On that?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Derek worked on it. A lot of those guys worked on it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually a really fun
Gilly
game.
in there?
I think he worked on that.
Wow,
Yeah.
I had no idea. Okay. Maybe I'll try it out.
I mean, if you look at the instruction book, I think Jason Cole is on there. I think Edma's on there and stuff like that. So it's a really fun game. So.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
But in any case, what I'm curious about right now is that, obviously it looks like they're taking interactables from Injustice and putting them into Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Because, you've seen videos where they grab, in the bazaar, they grab a person and actually throw the person.
Right.
I'm wondering if they're going to put in meter burn. Because I really like meter burn.
I really like that mechanic. Yeah. I thought that was one of the most interesting meter mechanics.
I'm curious to see if they're going to do that. So.
We'll see. I mean, there is a very kind of weird meter mechanic, and it has to do with how you're moving backdashes to take it up or something like that. So, yeah, we'll see.
Cool.
There will be more news about that in the future. Yep. And then there's also news. Well, I don't have a story up for it, but...
Well, actually, before we get there, what do you think of the fatalities they have in that game now?
Dude, I'm going to try to ignore them. I really am.
Because it's getting a little too realistic, I think.
Agreed.
From the first Mortal Kombat, where it was you pull them off of the spine, it looks like Pac-Man dots. You know, it's like
cartoon stuff.
ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
But now it's just
even MK9 was getting to my threshold. It was getting to my limit. There was one, I forget who has it, where they just rip you apart. They hang you up.
It was Noob Saibot, right? Because he does 2 of them, right? And they split you in half,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And there's the one where Kung Lao throws his hat at your groin and drags you. Oh yeah.
Dude, they 100% stole that from Shaolin Monks. By the way, that was a fatality in Shaolin Monks. But anyways, keep going.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that stuff. It's not interesting to me. It doesn't do anything positive for me. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not whoa, super cool way to kill somebody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and my joke is that we've seen the new characters the bee girl and the dude.
Devora.
Yeah, thankfully they keep making all their characters really douchey characters that I just don't care about. So I'm okay watching them get butchered and stuff. If they started making characters that I start getting attached to and care about, I think I would have a problem.
I hope that there's not some time in the future where video games just look like real life, in some future time, 20 years from now, something like that. I don't want there to be an MK16 where I just I can't. I don't want to see torture porn. I don't go to those movies.
Realistic blood splattering physics.
Like, but for real.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually how the body works.
Right,
like, I don't want to see that stuff. Not interested in me. But,
anyways, okay, enough about Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah, right. So there's also a new Marvel game coming out. You heard about this? You see this? Read about this? Huh? It just looks awful. I don't know that we even need to talk about this very much.
It's for mobile. It's for mobile.
It is for mobile,
right? So I mean, the thing that makes this Marvel game so deplorable to me is not just how it looks or whatever like this, but now everything is starting to make sense with everything being taken off the store, that you can't buy Shuma and Jill anymore, and why Capcom can't get the license anymore. It's probably because of this.
I assume.
And to know that. Well, to assume that this game is maybe what's preventing us from getting a Marvel patch makes it just that much more painful.
It just looks so bad.
Like I'm laughing because I'm in pain. You know what I mean? It's that super, super uncomfortable laugh. Right
that game is so close to being such an awesome game. You know, that's not my favorite game.
Right,
But,
yeah.
But even that said, I recognize it's not very far away from being super good.
Right,
But we're not going to see that because there's this mobile game and, like, all the characters have the same looking punches and kicks and
it's a mobile game.
You're just going to be like...
You know the game is... You're just going to be doing this. You're going to be hitting the same part on the screen.
There's going to be, like, 2 buttons on one side. It's going to be, like, the A and the B.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, like, a giant...
fake
horrible controller stick on the other side, and that's it. That's going to be the game. I mean, it might sell. You know, I mean, it's obviously the competitive community is not what Marvel cares most about,
and that's not what this game is going to target.
Not at all, not at all. And that's, you know, of course, that's not the only reason for a game. It's not just competitive stuff. Lots of other reasons people play video games. Fine, that's fine. It's not interesting to me. But yeah, it is too bad that if this is the reason why Marvel 3 can't get a patch, then that would just be unfortunate.
Man.
So.
All right. Well, more sequel-ish, game-ish kind of news is KOF, right? They just put out, I guess, like job listings. That's what the word is. Yeah, for apparently working, like, there's no information that it's going to be a fighting game or whatever like that, but sources claim that this is a fighting game, but it's for like 3D modeling of the characters and such. So it sounds like they're working on a next KOF game. I don't know whether this means necessarily that the game is going to be in 3D graphics like Street Fighter, or because KOF 12 and 13 were designed in 3D models and they turned the models into sprites.
Right.
So I don't know if that means that it's going to stay that way and they're just looking for someone to make better models now, or if the game is truly going to go into 3D graphics, and if that's the case, is it going to be 3D gameplay, or is it going to be the same 2.5D that people call the new 2D games, right? So
yeah, I don't know. Interesting to see. Obviously, there's no information on this, and it's not officially confirmed that there's a new KOF fighting game. Right. It's kind of speculation. It's based on how the listing is written. It makes it seem like there's going to be a fighting game, and then because separately from that, they also list listings for non-fighting game things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's like
I mean, someone on Twitter told me that they are in the know and that it is the next fighting game, but we all know how reliable Twitter is with Shinakuma 666 defeating Daigo.
Shinakuma 666.
So, you know, we don't know. We really don't know. So,
yeah.
But
we'll see. Hopefully it's a new game. That, you know, KOF 13 is already some years old, and that's rare for the KOF franchise.
Oh, look at this. Let's see. Let's copy this link and paste it here.
Oh, somebody links that there's a confirmation that it's a new fighting game?
Silicon Era, a new 3D King of Fighters game is in development. So
this is the same.
Website, yeah, with the staff recruitment page, 3D, which looks like it will be a 3D.
No, read down to the third paragraph.
Oh, Silicon Aircon got in touch with SNK Playmore to ask whether it would be a 3D game, to which they responded, "Indeed, a new installment in 3D of the KOF series is currently in preparation."
So a 3D King of Fighters game.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean it fights in 3D.
I guess you're right.
It just means that it will be in 3D. Now, a lot of people have suspected that maybe they're gonna go the 3D route, because you seen what Guilty Gear's doing.
Yeah.
There was those great articles that just they described exactly how they're doing everything. Like, it's really crazy. Like, the way they said that they did the outline was really crazy. They're actually making 2 images of them and zooming kind of like one of them in and coloring it all black. And that's how they get the outline on only the edges.
Interesting.
It was really weird, but they were talking about all the tricks that they were doing. So maybe I mean, it seems like they're doing that in hopes that other people start doing stuff like that too. So maybe KOF will be a 3D fake sprited game like Xrd is.
Yeah, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Would be cool. I kind of don't want to see KOF go to a 3D kind of landscape just because it would be, I don't know, and there are already good franchises that do that.
And I mean, there was one too, Maximum Impact a long time
right.
ago, but you know, every time those games have tried to do that, it's just been a failure. Like, massive failure.
Yeah. So yeah, it's probably not going to be an actual 3D game.
Yeah, and the people in the chat are absolutely right. Polygons are way cheaper than sprites because it's much easier.
Right.
Once you have all the joints hooked up,
right.
It's just animations, and there's so much interpolation that does the animations for you, right? So that's why, like, if you think about Street Fighter, right, when someone does a punch, you see 3 frames, but when you activate the super, all of a sudden they go in super slow motion and you can see all the frames in between. It's because it's just all math. It's just all interpolation.
Right.
They don't have to write all that stuff. So if you want to add new moves, if you want to do all sorts of stuff, it's a lot easier than it is to do sprites. So sprites are tough. Because let's say you draw sprites and then you don't like the move. It's not like you can tweak the sprites anymore. You've drawn them already. So. Yeah.
And nobody can create Street Fighter 4 Koryu edition with like new moves for characters because you have to draw them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like some people said, so if they make it 3D, then they can also add, you know, they can make their own versions of really, really terrible costumes and garish outfits.
Oh man.
I'm still waiting for Xrd original Potemkin costume.
Do you not like the new one?
I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
I like the original one better. But it doesn't make sense because he's free now, so he shouldn't have the thing around his head. But, you know. But anyways, okay.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's take a break.
Sure.
No do we have anything else to talk about before, or in the next little segment here?
That's a good question.
Oh yeah, dude. Gilly watches our show. Okay, apparently he said. Seriously? He said him, Derek, James, Tommy Ho, Jason Cole, Ed Ma. Yeah.
Yeah, they all worked on it. So
on Shaolin Monks.
Dude, it's a fun game. Okay,
I'll try it out.
Because I mean, there's a lot
that's
of
even possible nowadays.
punch, launch, air combo, punch, air fireballs with Liu Kang. I don't know. I had fun with it. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay. What is Margaret?
I have no clue what Margaret is. What?
I have no idea what that is.
Margaret is playable now.
Are we like completely out of the loop on something?
www.google.com. Margaret.
Margaret is playable now.
Welp.
Persona.
Oh,
she's the new character in Persona. That's right. Okay. Fair enough. They announced Margaret. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about her. So
I don't know anything about it.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
News for next week, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay, we will be right back.